Hi guys, this is Rachel Kirkland, the Modern Shaman, and I am here for some question and answer time. So thank you for joining me. I'm going to jump right in to this question. I always say that, jump right in. It's my favorite little phrase, I guess. I'm going to answer this question that someone sent. And if you're unfamiliar with me or this is new to you, thank you for being here. Feel free to connect. My website always is on that little card at the beginning of this video, and there's another card, to end the video that will have my website and info on there of how to connect with me. All right, let's get to it. Here's the question. Hi Rachel, thank you so much for all that you do. I have been told that my throat chakra is blocked. Any recommendations for how to keep it unblocked? Okay. So focused on the throat chakra. You know what I love about this is actually, this is probably, for those of you out there that are also energy workers, this is probably the most common, one of the most common blockages that I see energetically is around the throat chakra. Now, if you're not familiar with the chakras, first you need to watch my video, like scroll down and find that video I did on the chakras and talks about the throat chakra. That chakra in our sense, deals with the sense of personal expression, being able to speak our truth. So a lot of times our throat chakra gets blocked when we have felt devalidated for what we have to say, or we feel like we don't have a sense of freedom to speak our mind, or we've been shut down in the past, or we've been harmed for sharing our truth in past lives. Even just energetically, a lot of times people carry fear and patterning in their throat chakra. A lot of deaths connect to the throat chakra. People being hanged, people being, their throats being slit, people strangled. There's just a lot of, for some reason, energy with past fears that also collects around the throat chakra. And stifling the voice, feeling like your voice or your sense of, and by voice I mean more so your expression, something that you have to say, a belief, whatever it may be that's coming from you, and feeling like that is blocked. I mean, over the centuries, they did a lot of things that cut people's tongue out for saying things they didn't want, so there's a lot of energy of stifling the throat and the throat chakra when it comes to speaking something people don't like, or speaking something different or in opposition, or just feeling freedom to speak. I will also say a lot of times this is connected to the solar plexus chakra, these blockages, because our solar plexus chakra, again, if you don't know about the chakras, watch that video, is connected to your personal sense of self. So this is the seat of like our identity, our core, or like, why did I come here to earth? What am I supposed to share with the world? Who am I? So a lot of times I will see these energetic blockages, and they'll almost be like a chain or a cord or something pulling the throat down to the solar plexus, feeling very locked in. That being said, when you unblock one, a lot of times it brings up things from the other chakra as well. But I will focus on the throat chakra and helping you unblock it. There's lots of ways to do this, to be honest. So I'll maybe give you a few, and then you can just kind of see what vibes with you, what you resonate with, what feels like it would be the easiest, most effective path and efficient path for you to go in. There are energy workers that do specialize in, chakra alignment and chakra release and getting rid of blockages. You can do hypnosis to get rid of blockages. So there's those types of things. Then there's also just the personal empowerment things you can do on your own. So I'll go into those. One of which is just a sense of lamenting or crying out. In a lot of cultures, like native cultures and just various cultures, there used to be a very appropriateness and almost like a respect of a time of lamenting or mourning. And it involved like a cry out or a very like bold sense of expression, and giving vocalization to those emotions that you hold, so your body doesn't store them for you, so you don't feel restricted when you're experiencing extreme grief or extreme, even just a sense of a loss of a childhood, or a sense of something that didn't get to have a form of expression, traditionally in the native communities, we would have a cry or a lament where you would cry out to the moon, cry out to just any sense of crying out to Mother Earth, giving vocal, like, frequency, tone to what you're feeling, unrestricted. Okay, there's a form of appropriateness in a lot of cultures for that. Our Western culture doesn't quite have that. You know, you don't see people like, I'm just going to go scream and get out my energy. It's not, even though we do, and some people do, and even like psychotherapists sometimes have the primal scream as part of their therapy. But it's not so common, you know, as a known way to keep that throat chakra open and feel personal expression. But that is an easy way. Just a kind of a tribal cry or a sense of vocalizing with tone. It doesn't have to be a word. It doesn't have to be saying something. It can just be a cry out from the pure emotion of what you're feeling and giving expression to that without holding back. That's one way that you can do it. Maybe find a time when no one's in the house or you're outside around something that no one's going to feel like they're stifling you, and you have no reservations to just let everything out. Another way is writing, and I talk to a lot of clients about this, just writing what it is that you need to express. For instance, if there's like resentment or anger or emotions from past events, things that never felt like that they got processing, or you never felt like your side was heard. Maybe you didn't prosecute somebody that did something, you know, illegal to you or harmful to you, or maybe there's that sense of unbalance there that never got to have a full expression. Writing it down on paper, and I have a video on this too, that there's an alchemy with paper. Paper is made from trees, so it's a very grounding energy, particularly if it's used with a pencil. This is my mechanical pencil with some lead, okay? And even that element, again, very grounding, versus typing it on a computer, which is based in quartz crystal, you know, our electrical circuits and things like this, which are more amplifiers of energy. So if this is a negative energy that you're getting out, you don't want to amplify it. You want to have it absorbed in the paper, okay? So get it out on the paper. You can burn that paper, you can throw it away, you can have a fire ceremony with it, whatever. Just takes the energy out of the throat with a sense of freedom. Again, you want this to stay open, a sense of personal freedom and expression with it. So it just feels fluid. There's no sense of restriction to what you're saying. No fear associated with it. You don't even have to look at it, but you need to get it out, okay? Another thing that I love and I do with clients is just breathing techniques. There's a lot of yogic breathing. The breath of fire I particularly love with opening the throat chakra, particularly when there's blockages that are connected to the solar plexus chakra and the throat chakra, because if you're familiar with pranayamic breathing, which is just the breath of fire, which is, it's not hard, but it's like if you, so I'll do a little breathing here. So if you breathe, pant like a little dog, like this, okay, and you get in that pattern to where your exhale and your inhale are of equal length, okay, so they feel like the pattern is the same, then just shut the mouth and breathe only through the nose. So when you're doing that, there's a sense of it like a minimal contraction in your solar plexus. It just kind of contracts, it tightens that core, and then it pushes that air all the way up through the throat. And if you do it for a while, you'll feel this. It's like a boom, 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 boom. It's like, let me do it this way. Boom, 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 boom. So the solar, it's like this. So the solar plexus will contract and it will push up the air through the throat, and then vice versa, and it will just keep going, keep going, keep going. So there's a sense of openness. It kind of pushes that energy to feel like it's open, 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 open. Pulling from the energy of the solar plexus, from the seat of the self, from your sense of identity and strength of personal will through the throat. So that type of breathing, even just doing that every morning for a few minutes, or, you know, just when you're sitting on the pot, something that you do all the time, when you could just like give yourself that time to just do a few of those breaths for a few minutes, opening up regularly, a sense of regular openness to the throat. Again, particularly if it's connected to the solar plexus chakra. There's lots of breathing techniques that help with opening the throat chakra. Even that, like opening, like feeling the esophagus open up and pushing this air from here like that. Okay, and just feeling, letting your sense of your throat relax. A lot of times we don't realize it, but we have a sense of pressure. A lot of times if there is a sense of others suffocating out your sense of expression or keeping you from being able to say what you feel, it will have a sense of compression from outside in, not necessarily a blockage, but a compression of that energy. And so for those people in particular, if you feel like someone is stifling what you have to say, a boss or somebody, those exercises of opening the throat, like loosening the esophagus, I don't know if I can do it from the side. So you just put your tongue almost like back towards the back of your neck, or throat, sorry, and then you open, you can feel it. You'll feel this open part of the esophagus kind of widen. And then once you're in that place, you can push the air out. Again, it's a contracting of the solar plexus and letting the air come out from there. It pushes. So it's another good one. And then, let me think of what else. Sometimes when it's extreme, there will be a sense of needing to actually like cough something up, like hawking a loogie. This is my shaman stuff coming out. You know, I just get in there. If there's a sense of like something really that's almost like turned into material matter, even if it's symbolic, metaphoric, energetic, sometimes an event, or it can almost solidify. If you've thought about it a lot, you've put a lot of energy towards it, sometimes they solidify into, and they look to me energetically like a little ball, or I've talked before about almost like a hairball that I had at one point in my throat chakra. So there's a sense of like solidifying the thought into matter, and sometimes you have to throw it up. I've talked about this before too with healing sessions. At times when it's an extreme healing, when they're trying to, if there's cancer in the body or there's a sense of that it has solidified, a lot of times it will be an extreme purging. So there will be like a throwing up or you know, hawking a loogie. There's a sense of literally like coughing out that blockage. Okay, I know that's kind of gross, but if it does feel extreme to you, and you will know it, you will feel the weight of that blockage or compression. Compression doesn't usually need to throw up if it's like somebody else kind of pushing in, but if it's you blocking that energy, fear, or whatever it may be, or it's solidified now into matter and you're getting some sort of disease in the body, a lot of times purging will come up. So those are some ways, like the native cry out, the writing, and just giving a physical sense of expression to it, writing on paper, breathing exercises, and that purging. Great ways to keep your throat chakra open. Okay, love you guys. Blessings.